Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for mid-September 2022. We're going to take a look at your general energies for the rest of the month in this first row here. Then we are going to take a look at what you need to know at this time, anything unexpected kind of in this row right here. This looks pretty good to me so far. I like that. Next, we're going to look at the good stuff, so it doesn't matter what shows up in this row. It's going to be positive no matter what, and it just keeps getting better for you, Scorpio. And again, it doesn't matter what shows up here, Five of Pentacles, doesn't matter. This is the good stuff no matter what. Then at the end, we're going to look at your 5 main themes for the month. Whenever I get a monthly card, I just pull an extra card just to see what's going on there. But we're going to look at your 5 main themes here. And then we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. Crazy, right? I know. But let's see. In your first position here, you have the Spirit. It says, unseen forces watch over you. So clearly you are being divinely guided. Pretty interesting. All 3 water signs had a lot of angel cards in their readings. You have this one, but you also have the Judgment card. This is your higher self angel at the top of the card there. So I kind of feel like things are divinely guided for you. I'm just looking to see if there are any others. I don't see any others yet, but, you know, we're going to clarify, so there might be more. But clearly, I feel you are kind of being guided by your guides, ancestors, angels, all those other good things. You have the Judgment card, the Hermit, and the Six of Wands. I feel like you've done a lot of work, and maybe that's why you're being rewarded. The Hermit kind of represents climbing to the top of the mountain to find your inner light. It can also come up when we've gone through like a dark night of the soul, or we've experienced a lot of challenges all at once, and then we've kind of, you know, climbed to the top and we're now shining our inner light. And you have the Sun here, which could be your inner light for sure. The Sun can represent, you know, happiness, joy, and you also have the Sunrise card showing up at the end. So a lot of kind of illumination energy. And again, all 3 water signs had a lot of these cards of like illumination, shining something, communication as well. We do have Mercury retrograde, but that doesn't mean we can't communicate, right? It just means maybe there's garbled communication. But at the same time, you know, again, if you're communicating about something that you've been working on for a long time, or that you are revisiting, you know, you could be revisiting a project, you could be rewriting something, you could be redoing something. So again, Mercury retrograde is a great time to fix things, to go back over things, but also to breathe new life into something that you've worked on in the past. And that is definitely popping into my head here. It's almost like I'm seeing you like moving things around. So I think Mercury retrograde is a great time to kind of just, you know, get things in the right order, especially on like projects. And this is popping into my head as something that's tied to your purpose or your destiny. And this came up again for like all 3 water signs. If you go this direction, Knight of Cups can be love, but it can also just be something that you're dreaming of, something that you've dreamed of that you really want to accomplish. And you have the Wheel of Fortune as well, which is your personal vision for your life. It represents your destiny in the sense that, again, it represents the direction that you see your life going in, or if there's like a dream that you've always wanted to accomplish or something you've always wanted to do, you know, that's like the Wheel of Fortune, as in your personal vision for your life. And so I feel a lot of you could be revisiting that. And again, I feel like you will be victorious. I feel like you are, you know, Six of Wands, a card of success and excellence. You have a lot of horses here as well. You have the Six of Wands. I'm noticing this. Six of Wands, horse. Knight of Cups, horse. Baby on a horse on the sun. Horses, all white horses as well. And horses represent assistance in the tarot. I really feel you're kind of being divinely guided towards your personal vision for your life, towards your destiny, whatever you want to call it. And I feel it's going to lead to, you know, a lot of happiness, success, clearly, a lot of good stuff. Let's see. With the Judgment card, you have the Death card. I like this because on the Death card, the Sun is coming up between the 2 pillars that are normally on the Moon card in the tarot. And, you know, the Sun is rising. You also have the Sun here clearly, and you also have the Sunrise card. So clearly, you're entering into a much better time. Even if things aren't perfect right now, I feel like things are definitely going to be improving for you big time. There are definitely some changes. Again, I always say the King is dead on the Death card, which, you know, the King on the Death card, it kind of represents the fact that even kings die. And it says that nobody is immune to change or differences. It's also your card, so you're showing up in a very strong position. With the Hermit, you have the Three of Wands. What are you waiting for? It's like the Hermit, he could be frozen at the top of the card here. I'll just show you. his feet might be frozen there. All he has to do is put what he has learned, his inner light, down by his feet, and he could set himself free. Three of Wands is my card of like, what are you waiting for? He's standing here. He's looking out into the water, and if you notice, the water is like a golden color. There's a story about the Three of Wands where he might be looking out there, and he might be thinking he's looking at the desert, this guy at the top of the hill here, but really, he's looking at water, and it's like if he looks, he actually sees the ships. So he's not looking at a desert, he's actually looking at opportunity to go off and explore, or do new things in his life, to go on an adventure. And I feel some of you, you could be thinking that there's no opportunities in front of you, or you could be looking at a situation and finally seeing the opportunity that exists, and I kind of feel that here. With the Six of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles, boats in the background. Look at, see, something's getting harder to ignore, you know, in your life. You can see how the waves are starting off kind of small over here, and they get bigger as they go over here. And that's popping into my head for you, that some of you, I feel something is getting harder and harder to ignore, or maybe you're just developing more and more of an interest in something here. It kind of reminds me of like working on a project where, you know, I get this feeling for you where some of you are working on a project, clearly that's what keeps popping into my head, where like it doesn't work, but instead of getting more discouraged, I feel like you're getting more motivated. You're like, no, I'm going to make this work. So I feel like you're at that point. You know, I always wonder, like, when that happens, if the universe is saying, like, do you really want this? Like, especially if you're writing a book, or you want to be a writer, or if you want to start a business, or whatever you want to do, whatever great thing you want to accomplish. And it's almost as if the universe has been saying, do you really want this? I feel like you've proven it, and so now the universe is assisting you, clearly. Next, you have this. Here you go. I literally said this word. You have this exploring card. I literally just said that. It says, you're exploring different potential paths to success. And so I feel for a lot of you, this is coming up in the area of what you need to know at this time. At the bottom of the card, it says, too many interests is making it difficult to narrow it to just one. And so what I feel like you need to do is listen to your heart, which I feel, you know, from now until the end of the year is the advice for everyone in the collective. There's like a lot of heart-based energy where the universe is saying, like, okay, maybe you know, I think the problem is comparing yourself to, you know, other people's success, right? It's like if you see other people who have been successful on YouTube, for example, it's like maybe you're thinking you have to do YouTube, but maybe you could be doing TikTok or something different, right? I feel like needing to listen to your heart and what you want to do with your life is kind of what's important with this energy. You also have this other card that says, learn new things. It will help you in the future. So clearly, a lot of learning here. You have the Hermit, which is all about learning and learning new things. In this row here, you have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. Queen of Wands, she moves towards her desire, and she doesn't care what anyone thinks. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about moving towards new, bigger, better things in your life and not caring. She's very bold and assertive. She really just goes for what she wants in life. She doesn't really necessarily think about it. And she also is not afraid to learn as she goes. So for a lot of you, I feel this is talking about kind of moving in a direction where maybe not everybody is doing it, but maybe it's right for you. Or, again, I do get this, like, comparing energy. I would be careful of comparing your success to someone else's success, because, like, how you're going to be successful is not how anyone else has been successful. And that might sound confusing, but, you know, I think it is what it is. I also feel like you're very attractive at this time. You have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you here if you are looking for love. It could be another fixed sign. It could be Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo. I feel like they have one of those signs in their chart. So they could be like an Aquarius rising, Leo rising. They could be like a Leo moon. They could be a Taurus moon or something like that. I feel that you could be attracting this person here. It could be a fellow water sign as well that you are attracting into your life. For some of you, I feel like it's another Scorpio for some reason. You know, obviously that's not going to be true for all of you, but I definitely feel it for some of you. I feel like this person's rushing in. For some of you, you could be the one that's rushing towards them, but, you know, for the most part, I feel like they're rushing towards you. Here, it's almost, I get this feeling of like not wanting to miss out, not wanting to miss the boat, right? There's a lot of boats in your reading as well. So I definitely feel this could be love. For others, again, like I said, normally he's looking into that cup. He is dreaming of his future life, or he's dreaming of things that he wants to accomplish. And you're definitely, clearly moving closer to your destiny with that Wheel of Fortune. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles comes up like crazy in readings recently. I really feel that this has to do with Uranus and Taurus. You know, we have Uranus and Taurus until 2025, the end of 2025, really. And Uranus and Taurus energy wants us to build things more permanent. Uranus and Taurus has a major focus on like, kind of like the nicer things in life, luxuries. So a lot of us might want to create nicer experiences. And this isn't about materialism with Uranus and Taurus. This is about, just having a quality life. It has nothing to do with necessarily, wealth, although it could. But, to me, I see people being more focused on having quality experiences, not so much like materialism, which is just like collecting as much as you possibly can, right? I feel this is more about quality experiences. I just said that about 10 times, right? Mercury retrograde. But what I would also say is that it's also about building something permanent. Uranus and Taurus is about true freedom. And if we build like a permanent business, for example, then that can provide a lot of freedom. Permanent relationship, that can provide like a certain type of freedom, right, in our life. It can make us just feel free. It can make us feel good. So I feel a lot of you, and not just you, pretty much everyone, I feel is going to be focusing on this in the near future, if they're not already focusing on it right now, right? So let's see. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I would say just get started. Six of Pentacles is about planting seeds. I always say that Six of Pentacles, sometimes we just have to try a few things. Like if we're wanting to start a business, I would try a couple of ideas, right? And then whatever works, put all your energy into that. Six of Pentacles, sometimes we just have to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, which for me is really the Nine of Wands, but I kind of feel that here with the Six of Pentacles. With the Knight of Cups, I would open up if you want love. I mean, obviously, if you don't want love, then it's perfectly fine to stay closed off. But I feel for some of you, this is love. I kind of feel this is a line in the sand as well. The Seven of Wands, to me, is a line in the sand. It can represent your standards, like what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept in a relationship. So I feel like you are very clear about what you want. And because of that, usually when we get clear, we get what we want. And that's what I see there. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords, very clear. Finally clear is what I feel like saying. She has clouds only halfway up her body or to her shoulders here, and she finally sees what she needs to do. So, even though it's Mercury retrograde, again, if you're revisiting something, like I said at the beginning of the reading, you could be getting a lot of clarity on what you are revisiting. And again, like I said, I kind of see you moving things around here. That's what I keep getting popping into my head. And so you could just be... it could be anything. I don't know. Let's see. In the area of the good stuff, you have this decisions card. Here you go. Moving stuff around. I was saying this. There's like a chessboard right there. And I wasn't really seeing moving things around like a chessboard, but that kind of makes sense. I feel maybe you're getting a little bit more tactical. Sometimes I think also, if this is a work or business or career that you're revisiting, sometimes I think in work, business, career, we just do whatever, just trying to get things to work. It's kind of a little bit aimless. And maybe that's what I'm getting here. A little bit more of a focused energy, like kind of understanding what your next moves are with that Queen of Swords. You also have this Independence card. And again, there seems to be a big focus for water signs on making your own decisions. And it's funny because I said to Pisces that Leo had a very similar message last week, and they had the Sun card. You have the Sun card right here. So, sometimes I think I get cards that are talking about other readings, like for me as a reader, so that I can connect the intuitive messages, if that makes sense. But, that's what I'm getting here. Is that you might be making decisions where everybody's like, no, you shouldn't do that. But I feel something different. It's like maybe you have a feeling or an intuition, or maybe you've done more research than everyone else. I kind of get this feeling of needing to make sure that you don't doubt your information, what you know. Because sometimes, I don't know, us humans, right? We don't want to be kicked out of the tribe, right? Let's put it that way. So if we go the other direction, if everyone in work or business is like, do this, it's like maybe we do it just to follow them. It reminds me, they did an experiment years ago where they put a person on an elevator facing the wrong direction. Everybody who went on the elevator started facing the wrong direction because of one person facing the wrong direction, right? I feel you're reading, and I said this to Cancer as well. Like I said, all three water signs very similar this month. I said the same thing. I said, I basically said, don't face the wrong direction. And I kind of feel that's what this is saying. Like, don't be afraid to be a trendsetter. Don't be afraid to do things differently. You have the Sun, the Five of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Again, this is the good stuff in this row. So I feel the Five of Pentacles is saying that you're coming out of the cold at this time. Again, I don't think you're coming out of the cold with a person. I feel like you're choosing, if there's a person that you feel left out in the cold with, I feel like you're just choosing independence. You have that independence card, so you're choosing to focus on yourself, to heal yourself. There's definitely love here if you want it. Like I said, as I always say, nothing just happens. You're going to have to put yourself out there to make love happen if you want it, but it's available to you. So get out there, date, put yourself out there, on a website, something, do something, right, to find love. But I feel like it's there if you want it. For the most part, I feel things are turning around. I'm also very focused. This right here, it kind of almost looks like leaves on this. This right here is meant to be an anchor, this here, but it also kind of looks like a tree. And so I feel there is a lot of abundance, or there is a change in your abundance coming in for you. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is about your destiny. You also have this wheel card. It's kind of funny because, this is a very good reading, but this wheel card says indecisiveness as well. We're going to talk about this in a minute. You have that other card up there, which kind of said indecisiveness. I kind of feel this reading is saying, like, no, you know exactly what to do. Don't allow other people, like I said earlier, to creep in and, like, change your mind or make different decisions. I feel being decisive this month is going to be kind of the key for you. I feel like you need to realize that it's okay to make mistakes. And the same thing happened in Pisces reading, but for you, it's 12-12. Look at this right here if it wants to focus. So 12-12 there, Scorpio. As I'm saying that, I feel for a lot of you that you need to just kind of like make a decision and stick with it. You're receiving a lot of, part of me is feeling, again, white horse right here, all the angel stuff. I feel like you're receiving guidance. So I would just trust the guidance with this energy. This baby, or this child, whatever you want to call it, on the sun, the whole point of the sun is that he moves towards joy and happiness. Doesn't matter if his aunt says it's the wrong decision. Doesn't matter if his boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever says it's the wrong decision. He trusts his heart. And again, for all three water signs, I feel that is a major, major focus for all three of you. But definitely you, because this whole entire reading has been about that. So I would focus on what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, and that's the direction I would move in here. And again, don't second guess yourself. It reminds me of like tests in school. It's like go with your first gut instinct, because usually if you don't, then you get it wrong, right? With the Sun card, you have the Ace of Swords, laser-like focus. Ace of Swords is being very focused, keeping your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize here. Definitely a victory coming in for you. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups. I told you that you're walking away from this situation because you've walked away from something that no longer serves you. Five of Pentacles, for some of you, this is like a past situation. Could be a Virgo that you walked away from. Then I feel like you're kind of bringing yourself out of the cold. You're bringing yourself towards fulfillment, maybe because you finally have cut this off. I'm getting like 6 months, so maybe this happened like 6 months ago, and you're finally healing from it, so you're finally kind of opening up to new energies, which is great. And again, there's new love that shows up here. With the Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, there you go. Ace of Wands is definitely something new, like a new opportunity, new love, something new and exciting, something that you actually desire to have in your life. I love the Ace of Wands. Sometimes I feel the Ace of Wands is like the one thing we need to move forward in life. So definitely a lot of success for you there. At the end here, with your 5 main themes, you have this October card and this Ring card. It says a marriage will take place either romantic or in business. So, again, there could be marriage in October, but there could also just be a commitment in work or business with that Ring card. I feel like things are kind of coming full circle for you here with this Ring card. I mean, no pun intended, it is a ring, but I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of making these connections now. It's like, again, Steve Jobs, I think, said that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. I kind of feel that here in this reading, that a lot of you are connecting a lot of dots where you're finally seeing like why you had to go through all these things, why you had to experience things, what you learned. I feel like because you're connecting all the information, it's like, boom. I feel like you're having like a big aha moment or something like that in this month, not just in October, but right now, because you're connecting everything. Next, you have this Wreath card. It says sorrow over a loss. I definitely see a loss here with the Five of Pentacles, even though that's showing up in the good stuff. Again, I read intuitively, so if I get something that goes against the rose, it's like the rose mean nothing to me, if I get a message. And I definitely feel some of you are experiencing loss, death, judgment. Maybe at one point you wanted this person back, but I don't know. I feel like it's not that big of a deal. I feel you're really moving on and setting yourself free with that Eight of Cups. And if you're questioning whether you should be doing that, I would say yes, because you have the Eight of Cups. He's walking towards fulfillment. He's walking towards true fulfillment. So don't second guess yourself. Next, you have this Sunrise card. It says new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Love it. I mean, that's like what the whole entire reading was about, basically. So the sun is definitely rising and coming up in your life. I think there's a lot of joy and happiness as well, just in general, coming in for you. And like I said, I would kind of stick to those first instincts, you know? I feel a lot of those moments where in work, in business, in career, even if you're retired, maybe you're just wanting to go on adventures or do things. I feel you could have a lot of these moments where you come up with an idea and then you start to second guess it because of things that other people say or because of something you see on the news or whatever. I feel like this is saying don't second guess things. Your first instinct is the right instinct, or intuition, whatever you want to call it. Next, you have this 4-leaf clover. Love it. It says great good fortune on it. So 4-leaf clovers obviously represent like a lot of luck coming in for you. So I do feel it's like a very lucky time for you. I do feel there are like a lot of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but I feel like there are going to be some opportunities that you're going to want to watch out for and listen to. But again, these all come from your heart. These are all coming from, you know, things that bring you joy. So pay attention to that. Next, you have this wheel card. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Kind of feel like you're ending this cycle, actually. But I just feel that, you know, once you make a decision, stick to the decision. I feel like you're learning that you can correct mistakes. It's like, you know, I think it's better to try like 100 things and make mistakes than it is to try nothing, obviously, right? So, you know, don't be afraid to experiment and try new things here, Scorpio. But really good reading. I love it. So we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards here. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think your questions. 1, 2, and 3. For question number 1, you have the 3 of Wands. Yes, take the leap of faith with that 3 of Wands twice in your reading. There's opportunity in something that maybe you don't see opportunity in. This has been a major theme in all my readings for like 6 months. So, you know, it just seems to me like one of those years where, you know, what I really think it is I don't think that's the right way to put it. I think what the problem is right now is that, you know, if you want to do something, there's a lot of upfront work, meaning you're maybe not going to see results right away. So if you're building something or if you're asking about something you want to build here, I feel there's a lot of upfront work, but trust me, I think that it's going to pay off. I know that it's going to pay off big time. So it's almost like you're building a debt with the universe where the universe owes you and will owe you in the future. So it's like do as much work as you can now because I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of interest in the future. For question number 2, no. 3 of Swords. I feel like you're asking about this love situation right here. No. For question number 3, I would say yes. 2 of Pentacles says get moving. 2 of Pentacles does say balance, and Mercury retrograde, and every planet and its mother is going retrograde, you know, at this time at the end of the year here. So I would say that doing things in balance. Don't burn yourself out. If you're feeling tired, take a nap. If you're feeling like you need to go for a walk, go for a walk. If you feel like you need to, do whatever, do it. I think we need to practice really good self-care during Mercury retrograde especially, but also we have Mars going retrograde. Definitely need to practice good self-care at this time of the year, so that's what I'd be doing here. But really amazing reading. I love this. Good stuff coming in for you. So thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.